Fire danger continues today for parts of the Mid-Atlantic, Southeast, Intermountain West. In today's forecast, we're going to talk about that real quickly and also talk about the excessive rainfall, flooding risk, and the severe weather risk in the coming days. So let's review the excessive rainfall outlook for Tuesday here, going all the way back to Illinois, um, a small part of Illinois into northern Indiana, southern Michigan, northern and pretty much the northern part of Ohio here, northwestern Pennsylvania, parts of New York State, most of New York State, all the way to the Canadian border, and parts of Vermont as well, with a marginal risk of excessive rainfall um, on Tuesday. So let's look at the total precip here. So this is the precip totals for day 3, like I said, Tuesday. Generally, heaviest amounts will be in northern New York State, parts of near Buffalo, New York, Utica, Syracuse, Watertown, Canton could get up to 1 to 2 inches of rain during that period. There's also some heavier precip out west here as well. So let's take a look at that real quick. Yeah, so I'm not expecting a lot of heavy precip here out west, and given the antecedent dry conditions, likely not going to have any flooding risks out west here. Generally less than an inch of rain, except for maybe in the higher terrain out here, just to the west of Denver here. And the California mountains, of course, always get heavier rainfall. For day 4, which is Tuesday, we also have a marginal risk of excessive rainfall all the way from central Texas through parts of eastern Oklahoma, eastern Kansas, northwestern, pretty much bisecting Arkansas here, most of Missouri, the exception of the northeast portion of Missouri here, most of Illinois, with the exception of northern Illinois, a small part of Iowa, and up into Indiana. And moving into Thursday, we also have this marginal risk going all the way down a large area here, all the way from Mississippi, pretty much the Mississippi Valley to the Ohio Valley to the upper Midwest, all the way up to the Northeast here, parts of New York State as well, even into Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire. So the flooding risk is definitely real here, even though it's only marginal at this point. And as of right now, the highest amounts anticipated through 5 days, total 5 days here, days 1 through 5, is down into parts of central Missouri here, with maybe 2 or 3 inches of rain expected here, up into Buffalo, New York area, right along the Great Lakes, also in the Watertown area of northern New York State here. Also out west, we have onshore flow, bringing some heavy precip into Oregon and Washington State here, in parts of California, but no flooding expected there. And as we get towards past the 5 day period for the excessive rainfall from the CPC and WPC, we can see here they also show this data 3 to 7 hazards outlook, this heavy rain potential here. Okay, so let me see if I can draw on this. It won't let me. I don't know why, but that's weird. All right, so this area is going to be in the bullseye even after the day 5 here, 4-1 to 4-2, April 1st to 2nd, and April 4th here. And as we move further towards the weekend, next weekend, we also have this risk here as well, in the deep south. It'd be nice to get some rain down here. So we have this slight risk of excessive rainfall that continues all the way up into parts of the Mid-Atlantic, back towards Texas, Mississippi Valley. So areas that may have gotten heavy rain down here may, if it continues to rain this area, we could really have some problems here into next weekend. And as we look to 6 to 14 day pre-temperature and precip outlook, you can see up here, here's your 6 to 10 day outlook. East of the Rockies, got more of a chance of precip. West of the Rockies, dry again out west here, and drying out some here, but near normal precip chances generally in this area. Anywhere pretty much east of the Rockies, although the west coast is really going to be drying out here, which is not good. All right, so as part of that, we look at temperatures real quick. This shows your 6 to 14 day temperature outlook, right? So you can see above normal temps starting out west here in the eastern seaboard, and you can see better than more confidence in warming up again out west here, and not as much in the east coast. So, but nothing showing above below normal temps here for anywhere in the lower 48, with the exception of the extreme northern tier of the U.S. here. As we get a little bit further out, this is through the middle to end of it, near end of April here, 11th through the 24th. You see the dates up here. All right, temperature and precip outlook. Temperatures above normal temps expected, most likely here for most of the U.S., with the exception of northern tier here. And precip looks to be possibly above normal in the Mississippi Valley back towards Texas and the upper Midwest, and the rest of the U.S. either equal or below chances, with the West Coast remaining dry. So this isn't good for the snowpack out here. It's almost too late really to build the snowpack anyway, but in Florida too, it's been dry there as well. So let's pray for these folks. Hopefully get some beneficial rain in the coming days, but it doesn't look like it here as of right now. So as far as severe weather, going into tomorrow, we have a marginal risk of severe weather up here in parts of Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa, back towards northern Indiana, northern Ohio, encompassing the Chicago area as well. All right, and what's driving this threat? We have a small wind threat, marginal wind threat on the southern edge of this marginal threat, with the potential of 50-knot wind gusts within this area, although 5% isn't that high. You could still have some heavy winds here tomorrow. High winds, excuse me, heavy winds, heavy rainfall. All right. Hail is a concern as well, although we have that marginal risk encompasses the whole area here. And we'll go into a deeper dive about this threat in the after I'm done reviewing these, and you can stick around for that forecast if you want. If not, just be careful out there tomorrow. Anyway, please let me know where y'all live here in this area, and what you may experience, or tell me what happened tomorrow. Like, give me some updates on what you saw up here. If you saw nothing, that'd be cool to know. If you saw hail or wind damage, that'd be neat to know too. So I'd appreciate that. So going into Wednesday, we also have a marginal risk encompassing a lot of the same area we saw on day 2, right? Well, this is day 3, categorical, right? So it also kind of encompasses the same area we have that flooding risk, okay? So, and the change of thunderstorms are also building back from the south here in the southern Georgia, parts of Alabama and Mississippi. Be nice to get some moisture down here. Either way, we got this marginal risk going all the way back from eastern Iowa, northern Illinois, all the way back to New York State, UP, Michigan, back towards Wisconsin. So that there's a boundary here that may provide the focus for storms as we get into day 3, which is Wednesday. So diving a little bit deeper into severe threat for Tuesday, you can see we have our marginal risk here in the green area, right? Okay. See the temperatures as we start the day on Tuesday, 60s in Chicago, all the way down. You have this boundary here, okay? Milwaukee starts out at 38. And then it looks like the NAM wants to bring, this is a NAM 3-kilometer, which is a little bit longer range, convective allowing model with 60s. So temperature is plenty warm here, right? What do dew points look like? The dew points close to 60 degrees here along the Great Lakes here. In the morning, of course, they're going to be higher. You see right ahead of the front as it pushes to the east, dew points reaching the 50s and 60s with potentially high enough values for at least a marginal severe threat here. So this is 2 p.m., right? This is the last frame of the model, okay? So we got a area of interest in here. We got some storms firing as they move to the east here, right? Let's go to the updraft helicity swath here with it, composite updraft helicity. We can see rotating updrafts on here if they exist. Over here towards Toronto, it wants to simulate a rotating updraft here, but we'll have to see how that plays out. That's pretty far out to really predict that, right? But going back to the Storm Prediction Center outlook, you see there's our area of interest again. All right, and we move through time with this. This looks like to be the time frame when we could have severe weather push through and to the east of this, right? But that's as far as this goes. Taking this off, this Storm Prediction Center part off again. You can see what I'm talking about here. This is the NAM3. This is a NAM 12 kilometer, which is a coarser model, but it goes a little further out. Which NAM is a nested model, right? So as you get closer resolution, it just allows for different parameter spaces further out to integrate and run faster. So in this case, it's a little less resolution, but it goes further out. So showers and storms moving through in the afternoon on Tuesday, right? Maybe some severe weather, and that pushes to the east here into Wednesday. And you have maybe some snow on the back side of this here in parts of Colorado as well, and along this boundary here into Wednesday morning, okay? And that's as far as this goes out. So now we're into day 3 here. This is April 1st, right? 5 p.m. Let's take this Storm Prediction Center overlay off. All right, so you got pretty much west-east flow with a trough dip into the south here. Surface low developing, moving to the northeast with snow potentially on the back side of this. And this is where your severe weather threat could happen again. This leads to the north, okay? But, you know, right along this boundary here, going back to the Storm Prediction Center outlook, can't help but wonder going into Wednesday if this has to do with the threat Wednesday morning here, because when this boundary moves to the north again, the surface low, you have snow on the north side of this. So let's look at a few other parameters real quickly to evaluate this. These are temperatures going into day 4, right? Day 3, 5 a.m. Warm enough for severe weather here, but then as this front pushes to the south, right, I think your severe weather threat really doesn't exist much here at this point, right, into Thursday. You see how warm it is here. So Wednesday morning, looks like the severe threat could be present here, right, Tuesday to Wednesday morning, but then not seeing much of a push here, although there could be something down here in the Ohio Valley as we get into Thursday. So, but there's no severe threat, at least outlined right now with this solution. So we'll have to see how this plays out. And we have warm temps here pushing to the east. And with this boundary setting up, we're going to talk about that with the future precipitation totals briefly here next. So into Thursday, like continuing after discussion with the severe weather here, we got a trough in the Mississippi Valley, 500 millibar of vorticity here, moving through the flow, right, which is bringing moisture to the north and providing some lift as it shifts to the east here. We have another, looks like mid-level feature moving through the southeast as well here, lifting to the north. You see that there? At least according to GFS. Which may bring some rain to the southeast here, which would be nice, all right? And maybe some thunderstorms here as well. And to the east, you have a deeper trough digging here, right? To the west, I mean, not to the east. That short wave moves to the north, and you have a deeper trough with the main lobe of vorticity way up to the north, but it dies really far south here, okay? So as it does this, it'll pull moisture to the north here as well. And this is Sunday, okay? So this is 6 days from now. Looks to be a cold front, a highly forced, impactful event here, at least from a forcing perspective, right? So look at temperature. Temperatures are cool off to the east here as that front pushes in, right? Which is kind of nice for this time of year. And then we get further out, warm temps return here in the central part of the U.S. This is April 11th. So let's go back a little bit to the moisture and precip here real quickly. So this is Saturday, April 4th. Total precip expected through Saturday, April 4th. All right, April 5th, April 6th, April 7th. All right, this is according to GFS. All right, so you can see, I know this is a kind of a busy map, but you see the highest totals are east of the Rockies here. Anywhere in this area, especially up in the northeastern U.S., looks like has the most rainfall, maybe in the Texas, in the Ohio Valley, Mississippi Valley here, and out west as well, with Intermountain West staying pretty dry here, maybe back in Nebraska as well, getting some rain, right? So let's compare it to the GFS real quick. Not the GFS, I mean the Euro. I was on the GFS. Anyway, this is through April 8th, according to the Euro model. Not nearly as much precip prod here to the in the southeast with this model, but overall it has roughly the same solution, with most of the rainfall east of the Rockies here and up into the northeast, with heavier amounts also out west here and parts of the northern central high plains here as well, parts of the Intermountain West here also. So, you know, I could hike this up and everything, I guess, but the biggest threat, of course, is rainfall. I think in my mind right now, severe weather, a secondary threat here, but not seeing a extreme signal for heavy rainfall here, which we could use beneficial rain here. Hopefully, it won't be too much to cause flooding concerns. Um, I appreciate y'all watching and listen to me ramble a little bit today. It's a Sunday, kind of taking it easy. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, let me know where you're watching from. I am grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for all your support. Have a great day and God bless.